This is Terry Wager. The date today is June 25th, 2015. I just picked up my cell phone. I was getting ready to start making a vlog, and right before I hit the record button, a man's voice right outside just said, "He's making a vlog." So there's somebody right outside here that just said out loud that I'm making a vlog. There's that red pickup truck that I've already got video of a plainclothes cop. Going to that truck last year. I just picked up my cell phone. I was just getting ready. To make a vlog. And some dude's voice right outside just said, "He's making a vlog." Literally like 5 seconds right before I hit the record button. It's the people from that apartment. Right next door to me. People that are right next door to me, they're the ones that have that red pickup truck. I've already got that dude from that apartment going to that pickup truck last year in 2014, and he was wearing plain clothing, and he was wearing a Portland police jacket. Now, he just, literally, as I picked up my cell phone, I was getting ready to start recording a vlog. Now, I want you to notice what time it is. It's 11:25. $11:26 a.m. and you can see the date, June 25th, 2015. I've already explained on past vlogs that I'm a victim of a sting operation. People in law enforcement, people connected to law enforcement. I have, ever since my wife, Joan Wager, got a job at the Multnomah County Jail Kitchen in 2000, me and my entire family have been targeted by police sting operations. My wife was having sexual affairs with people in law enforcement when she got that job at the Multnomah County Jail Kitchen. My wife and her side of the family got recruited into sting operations with and for the Multnomah County Sheriffs and for the Portland Pedophile Police Department. And I have been gang stalked and harassed and terrorized by police and by Multnomah County Sheriffs and by their civilian ops ever fucking since. This dude next door is a fucking cop. I quite literally was getting ready to record a vlog. I'm sitting here in my chair right here. I grabbed my cell phone. I was getting ready to record a vlog. I didn't even hit the record button yet. And some dude right outside of my apartment said, "He's making a vlog." It's the people right there, right next door. As soon as I stepped outside, I didn't have the camera aimed in that direction. I had the camera aimed over in this direction. And as soon as I stepped outside, he stepped outside. There, he just shut the door next door. He's going in and out, in and out, in and out of that apartment right next door right now. Now I've got this dude on video with some bitch last year coming from the apartment directly below mine. And when they were in that apartment below mine, they were pounding right here in this general area from the apartment directly below me. And right after they did that pounding noise, they went out the front door and from the apartment directly below mine. So I got up from my chair and went to my window to see who the hell was in that apartment, who the hell was pounding. And it was some bitch in plain clothing and some dude in plain clothing. And they were getting into that red pickup truck that's parked. I hope you noticed that parking lot for the most part is empty. But notice how that red pickup truck there at 11:30 a.m. is still there. The reason why is because these people in that apartment are not normal people. They're police sting operatives. They don't have a 9-to-5 job where they don't live here and then leave here to go to work someplace. This is where these sting ops work. So they're here in the morning, they're here in the afternoon, they're here late in the evenings. They're here all the time. Now they have me under illegal video surveillance within my home. Just sitting here in my chair, I grabbed my cell phone. And I was getting ready to record a vlog, and I could hear a dude right outside the apartment. I couldn't tell if it came from that direction, or from over in this direction, or if it came from the ground level floor. I couldn't tell. But it was loud enough for me to hear it. So I have to assume it was relatively close. I can normally hear people that are like on the ground level. I can't understand what they're saying unless they're yelling. But if there's people down at the ground level and they're talking, I can hear it. I may not be able to make out what they're saying, but I can still hear them talking. Now, this was close enough to where I could actually... whoever said it, they were close enough to the apartment to where I could actually hear them say it. They literally said out loud, "He's recording a vlog." And it was a guy's voice. Well, there's a guy right next door. That's his red pickup truck in the parking lot. And I've already got that dude on video in 2014 wearing plain clothing and wearing a Portland police officer's jacket. And he came from the apartment directly below mine right after he was pounding on the wall near where I sit in this apartment. Now, ever since that incident where they were in the apartment directly below mine last year and were pounding on the wall, ever since I caught that dude doing this shit, and he was wearing a police jacket then, from this point forward, that dude has been in control of this apartment to my right. Now, I have previous vlogs of these people going from this apartment, coming out of that apartment, walking in front of my apartment here, going to the apartment to my left, and then they go inside this apartment. They'll sit in there 5, 10, 15 minutes. They'll come out of that apartment. They'll walk in front of my apartment again, and then they go into this apartment. At no time are they knocking. And I've already got these people on video wearing plain clothing and wearing a Portland police jacket, and they're going to that red pickup truck. Now, you have to understand, this is an ongoing. This has been an ongoing terrorizing, harassing campaign. You have to understand it. It's organized murder is what it is. These people were poisoning me. They had a water filtration system under that kitchen sink in my kitchen, hidden behind the pipes, and they had it connected to the water tap line, and they were using that to slowly poison me to death. The apartment manager here is fucking aiding and abetting these motherfuckers. These police officers have control of that apartment. They have control of this apartment directly below mine. This is my cane, by the way. Just so you can see. This is my cane. And they have control of this apartment right here. Now the apartment to the apartment that is directly below mine, the apartment to the left of it, that is where the apartment manager is. And the apartment on the right of the apartment that's directly below mine, that is where a retired cop is renting that apartment. So I'm quite literally sandwiched in by police sting operatives. Literally. I picked up my cell phone before I could even hit the record button. Some dude outside, it had to have been him, because there is no other dude that's going in and out of any particular apartment. He said out loud, he's recording the vlog. He said it out loud. And he had to be close, because I would, if they were on the ground level, I would have been able to hear it, but I wouldn't be able to make out what they said. He was close enough to where I could hear what he said. So he wasn't far. Whoever the person that said it wasn't far at all. I didn't even hit the record button yet on my cell phone, and I was sitting right here in my chair. So these fuckers next door have me under illegal video fucking surveillance. They're monitoring every fucking thing I do in my apartment. And the moment I grab my cell phone, somebody from over that area, from this apartment, said out loud, he's making a vlog. Well, gee, who became active after I did hit the record? Who became active out there after I hit the record button and opened the door and stepped outside? Why, it was the people that were in that apartment right next door to me. He deliberately carried out a bag filled with pop cans. He's mimicking everything. They're mimicking everything that I do. I have empty Folger cans everywhere because I use it for like an ashtray. I have a multitude of Folger cans around here because I basically, when I empty my ashtray, I just dump cigarette butts into the empty Folger cans, and they're fucking using Folger cans outside on that walkway out there to put their cigarette butts in. Now, my daughter Shauna Wagar, before she had left, she filled up white garbage bags with pop cans. And notice how I'm using these coffee cans to brace up this fan right here. Because I have that fan aiming at my chair. Well, they're putting out white garbage bags. See? Look at that. Pop cans. And that white bag sitting there in the hallway. Pop cans. All three of these bags with pop cans in them was put there by Shauna, my oldest daughter. Well, they're fucking turning this whole place. They're mimicking the garbage that's in my apartment. They're mimicking it outside in front of their apartment next door. Okay, this okay, he just took off. He just took off. Now, they were putting out white garbage bags. Literally, when I stepped out the first time, they came out of that apartment to my right, carrying a white garbage bag, just like these white garbage bags, that had pot cans in them. I think you could hear the noise of them setting down the garbage bag with pot cans in it. I didn't turn my camera at that moment, but I looked. He basically just stepped out of the apartment carrying a white garbage bag filled with cans, and then he set it down in front of his apartment, and then he went. Somebody just went down the stairs. Okay, I don't know if you... the dude that's in this apartment right next door to me, he just moved his truck. His truck was right there. He just moved it a couple places over. Now that dude that was walking to that tow truck, supposedly lives here. That tow truck is here all the time, and I hope you noticed that on the video that that tow truck is hogging 2 parking spaces. One of the parking spaces it's hogging is my parking space. My parking space. Now, I don't have a vehicle. I don't own a vehicle. I'm not a driver. But I do rent this apartment, and this is my apartment, and all of these parking spaces are numbered. I live in apartment 52, and those 2 parking spots that tow truck is hogging, one of those parking spots is my parking space. Now, they're being extremely active right now because of the fact that they know I'm recording a vlog. I know that they know that I'm recording a vlog. I hope you noticed that he didn't actually go anywhere. He just moved his truck from that spot to over to that spot. Now, notice how there's these it's in the morning, for God's sake. This is in the morning. Why aren't these dudes at work? They're not retired. They're not disabled people. I'm disabled. I'm partially fucking paralyzed. It's not easy for me to get out of my fucking chair and go out that fucking door. The only thing keeping me going is disgust and anger and adrenaline. That's the only thing keeping me going. They're not even fucking trying to hide it. They're not even trying to fucking hide it, man. The people that I have that dude that has that I have that dude in that apartment from my right next door to me on video wearing plain clothing and wearing a Portland police jacket, going to that red pickup truck last year. And they were in the apartment directly below mine and were pounding on the wall right there in this area. And then he went right out the fucking door right after they did that. And I could hear them coming out of that apartment directly below mine. If you open and close the doors around here, the neighbors can hear the people opening and closing doors. Because the walls aren't... This place ain't soundproof, in other words, by any measure of the word. Now these people right next door, they're undercover fucking cops. Now I don't know who the fuck this tow truck person is, but that tow truck person either apparently lives here at least in a sense that ever since I've lived here, there's been somebody that owns a tow truck and always has a tow truck parked out here. Well, that dude is always parking his fucking truck right over my parking spot. On my parking space. He's literally hogging my parking space. You know, now it's not like I'm using that parking space because I don't have a vehicle. But what if I had visitors? It would be nice if people that wanted to visit me could actually use my own parking space. Other people that are not connected to me at all should not be using my parking space at all. These parking spaces are numbered. I have been a victim of a murder conspiracy ever since my wife, Joan Wager, got a job at the Multnomah County fucking pedophile jail kitchen. Ever fucking since. The Multnomah County pedophile sheriffs and the Portland pedophile police department recruited my wife and her side of the family into sexual affairs, and they recruited her and her side of the family into sting operations. And the first fucking thing they did was target me and my side of the family. Now, some dude right outside my apartment said, he's recording the vlog. And this is before I even had the chance to even hit my record button. And I immediately hit the record button, immediately announce who I am and the date, and immediately get out of my chair and head right to that door to find out, okay, who's active out here? Who are the active people out here? The only active people that are out here are the people coming directly from this apartment right there, and that tow truck driver dude, both of whom are residing in these apartments on this second floor. Both of whom come from these apartments to my right. Now they've become extremely active after some dude out there said, he's recording the vlog. The dude right here next door, oh Jesus fucking Christ, he moves his pickup truck 3 or 4 spaces over this way. He doesn't like the fact that, oh gee, I'm establishing on video that dude obviously doesn't have a fucking normal job. Gee, why hide your truck? Or why hide your pickup truck, undercover cop? Are you trying to hide the fact that you don't have a normal 9-to-5 job? Is that why you moved your pickup truck over a few spaces? Is it? Is it? Now these fucking cops next door are mimicking the garbage that is in this very apartment. I usually drink Folgers coffee, and I usually reuse the cans for throwing away cigarette butts. It's like after I have a Folgers can that's empty, I usually just keep the can and I use it as an ashtray, so that, you know, when I use it as a mini dumpster for the cigarette butts, basically. And as far as all these white garbage bags with pop cans in them, those were left in his apartment from my daughter, Shauna Wager, before she moved out. Now, for the longest time, they have been using Folgers coffee cans next door, right outside their apartment, and they're using it for their own cigarette butts. Well, they're also using white garbage bags and filling them with pop cans, and they're throwing those outside too. And they were doing that. He was doing exactly that the moment I stepped outside to find out who's out there, who's being active. I didn't turn the camera quick enough. He basically just, right after I stepped outside and was looking in that direction, that's when the dude right next door over here opened his door, stepped outside, was carrying a white garbage bag filled with pop cans, and he set it down next to his door on the catwalk out there, and then he stepped right back inside and shut the door. I'm pretty sure I wasn't able to turn the camera in time in order to catch that, but I'm sure you heard the noise of it. He did, after all, set down a garbage bag filled with pop cans. Now, I hope you notice he didn't go anywhere. They didn't go to a fucking store. He obviously, after I started recording this vlog, after he carried out that bag of pop cans, he obviously went to his pickup truck and obviously moved it a couple spaces over this way, and then obviously went back into his apartment. Now, why is he doing that? Is he trying to hide the fact that, oh, gee, that law enforcement is maintaining a 24-hour-a-day presence surrounding my apartment? I already have video of the fucker wearing a Portland police jacket. He don't live here. He's a trespasser. He's a fucking murderer. I'm a witness to the Portland police and the Multnomah County sheriffs using sting ops to murder off people. I'm a fucking witness. And these fucking Portland pedophile cops are using their police powers to take over the surrounding apartments to finish me off. They don't live here. He works here illegally. He's involved in criminal activity. He don't live here. He has a legal address elsewhere. He's a fucking cop. He owns a house somewhere. Fucking apartment managers aiding and abetting these fucking criminals. Now, do you understand now why when I usually record a vlog, I don't bother doing a selfie where I'm just aiming the camera at me. I usually aim my camera right at my doorway and at the front windows here, because they usually become very active the moment I start recording a vlog. How unusual. The moment I start recording a vlog, this undercover cop that's here 24-7, every 7 days a week, 365 days a fucking year, ever since he showed up last year, he's been here ever since. That dude becomes very active, and oh gee, so does that tow truck driver, which is also on this second floor, just 1 or 2 apartments that way, or 2 or 3 apartments that way. They became very active. Notice how this undercover cop next door moves his pickup truck. And right after he moves his pickup truck, oh gee, now they're having a tow truck driver coming out of one of the apartments, and he's moving his tow truck vehicle. Notice how neither of them seem to have a job. It's fucking 11, it was like 11:30 in the fucking morning. Is this a weekday or is this a weekend? What is this? It's a Thursday. Notice how the son of a bitch, who doesn't have a 9-to-5 job at all, notice how after I start talking about his goddamn red pickup truck, notice how he moved the red pickup truck a couple spaces over this way. I hope you noticed that. I have video of that son of a bitch last year wearing plain clothing and wearing a Portland police jacket. He is not a tenant here. He has legal address elsewhere. He does not live here. He works here and is committing criminal activity. He works here illegally. Only tenants can legally live here. Undercover cops, not welcome at all. Trespassers. Fucking poisoners. Goddamn pedophile cops. He's recording a vlog. Ooh, they become super active the moment he said that. He's recording a vlog. You fucking pedophile cops can see if I'm recording a vlog or not, huh? While I'm inside my fucking apartment? Move your fucking pickup truck some more, pedo cop. Perform some more, pedo cop. God knows how you fucking pedo cops love your performances. These fucking cops murdered a kid in 2007. Officer Eric Carlson of the Portland Pedophile Police Department and his fucking partner, Officer John Ray, committed a break-in and a rape and a homicide of a kid. Their fucking poisonous, whore-ass girlfriends aided and abetted them in the commission of those crimes. And they all, as a group, went straight to Clackamas Walmart, where they all, as a group, proceeded to brag to Clackamas Walmart employees about the crimes they committed. And they bragged they were setting me up to get the blame. And they recruited Walmart employees there to lie for them. And Officer Eric Carlson and Officer John Ray had their poisonous whore-ass girlfriends take over the printers in the office at Clackamas Walmart. And they started printing flyers giving me the blame. By 9:30 that morning, these pedophile cops had half the store agreeing to lie for them. And that's when Officer Eric Carlson and my wife, Joan Wager, the both of them were having celebration sex in the back of that store. And during their celebration sex, they were discussing the female child they murdered. I've already got video of that fucker wearing plain clothing and wearing a Portland police jacket and going to that red pickup truck, while he's coming from the apartment directly below mine. Now he has the apartment to my right, and I've got past vlogs of these son of bitches going from that apartment, walking in front of my apartment, and then going into that apartment. And then coming out of that apartment, and then going in front of my apartment again, and then going into this apartment. So the apartment manager's aiding and abetting these fucking pedophiles and murderers with badges. She's aiding and abetting them. They're organized fucking killers. Move your pedal truck again, pedal cop. Fucking hate your damn ass.